If you love fresh house-made pasta, or you just have a desire for some amazing Italian food, we recommend checking out one of the best Italian restaurants we've found in Las Vegas, which is Matteo's Ristorante Italiano. Located in the Venetian's restaurant row, this is a great place to enjoy some unique Northern Italian recipes and cuisines. Not only is the food delicious, this restaurant had some of the best table service we've ever received. In this video, we are going to show you what we ordered and why you need to try this restaurant for yourself.
Right after we gave our food order to the waiter, they provided us with some house-made table bread. There were 3 different bread options as well as fresh olive oil. The first bread I tried was a crispy flatbread. It was almost like a chip and was very crispy and light. You don't even think that you're eating bread when you are enjoying it. The flavor was very yummy, but as good as this was, it can't compare to the next bread I tried, which was fresh baked sourdough. It was so light and fluffy and wasn't overly strong like some sourdoughs can be. In my opinion, it was balanced perfectly and was the best bread on the table. The bread was served with olive oil on the side, and this olive oil was exceptional and was the freshest I have ever had in America. I'm not typically a fan of olives, however, this oil had a distinct olive flavor without being overpowering in a negative way.
I'm not really sure what the third bread on the table was. It had a spongy consistency and had some sort of fruit baked inside. It also had a tough outer crust with great texture and flavor. As good as this bread was on its own, when I ate it with the olive oil, it took it up a notch. The oil was some of the best and freshest I've ever had. It really enhanced the flavor of the bread. If you are a fan of olive oil, you must give this a try.
For my appetizer, I got the creamy mozzarella, which came with marinated eggplant, plum tomatoes, yellow pepper crema, and chive oil. If I could only have 2 words to describe this dish, they would be incredibly fresh. The softness of the mozzarella mixed with the creaminess of the yellow pepper sauce, finished off with a hint of acidity from the tomatoes, gave me the perfect bite every time. This was an outstanding starter to our meal. I could have gone home happy from here, but I'm so glad I didn't because the rest of my meal was spectacular. For my main course, I got agnolotti pasta, which is a braised beef and short rib filled pasta, nebbiolo reduction, and reggiano spuma. There was so much anticipation for my first bite since the rest of my food up to this point had been so good. And not only was I not let down, these pillowy soft meat pockets exceeded my expectations. This dish needs only 1 word to sum it up: heaven. The braised beef was the most flavorful and tender, and the pasta was cooked to absolute perfection. I was curious about the Reggiano spuma because it's not every day I am served foam to eat, so I wanted to taste some of it by itself. It was the texture of foam with the flavor of cheese. While unusual, it added a nice cheese note to the dish. The only bad thing was I wanted triple the amount of pasta. It was so amazing that I wanted so much more of it. This was hands down the best pasta I have ever had.
For my entree, I got the handkerchief pasta, which is a house-made silky pasta sheets with almond basil pesto and Ligurian olive oil. Since this was more of a simple dish, our waiter suggested I get an order of shrimp on the side. While the shrimp was very fresh, large, and had a great shrimp flavor, honestly, this pasta didn't need it. I see why it is listed as just pasta on the menu. It is true that it's simple, but in this case, simple is good. The pasta was super thin and was folded into layers of sheets. It really did resemble a handkerchief on the plate. The pesto and olive oil sauce was so very delicious. It had a great basil flavor without being overpowering. The pasta was so light and it had a tremendous soft buttery flavor, and it almost had a creamy texture. I cannot recommend this pasta enough.
For dessert, I ordered the Verderoso, which is Florence pistachio cake, strawberry gelee, and pistachio mousse. Since I am clearly summing up my food in 1 or 2 words, this one is just wow. And I mean wow. This gave me a whole new experience for dessert. They somehow managed to combine every awesome texture in one dish. The strawberry flavor was perfectly balanced and was not too sweet or sour. The layer of cake on the inside was the most amazing texture I have ever experienced in a cake. The best way I can describe it is baked, fluffy whipped cream that came from the clouds of heaven. The salty crunch of the pistachio and the white chocolate outer layer made this light dessert dessert the perfect ending to the best meal I have ever had in Vegas.
I love tiramisu, so much so that whenever I get the chance, I order it. Suffice to say, I've eaten a lot of this dessert in my lifetime. The tiramisu at Matteo's was amazing. It was truly one of the best I've ever had. It had a strong espresso flavor without being overpowering. The bitterness of the espresso was balanced out nicely with the sweetness of the rest of the dessert. The true star of this dessert, though, was the mascarpone cream. It was so light and so creamy with the perfect amount of sweetness. I couldn't get enough of it. I would have liked to have eaten a bucket of this cream, but they wouldn't let me. Even if pasta is not your thing, come to Matteo's for their tiramisu. Another one of our favorite restaurants in the Venetian is Yardbird, which is near Matteo's on Restaurant Row here in the Venetian. And you can click here to watch our video on what we ate there, including one of the most unique desserts we've tried in Las Vegas.